You love her voice, you love her looks. What Melissa loves are comic books. Hi, and welcome back. Confession time. So, last episode, when I was talking about Oaky Doaks, I actually meant to talk longer about Oaky Doaks, but I decided to cut that because the episode was running too long. So, today, we're going to talk about Oaky Doaks in a special spotlight episode. Okie doke? Many of the comic strips reprinted in early comic books were older than the comic book medium itself, but Oaky Doaks was not. The first daily Oaky Doaks strip debuted in July 1935 when New Fun was half a year old. Oaky Doaks is the name of the main character of the strip, a young medieval serf who decides to make a name for himself by adventuring like a knight errant. He makes a suit of armor out of the tin roof of his shed and rides his plow horse Nelly. He's Don Quixote in reverse, so instead of being old and senile, he is just young and naive. Oaky Doaks was created by William McCreary, who was not only an editor for AP News Features, but would go on to edit Life, PM, and Ladies' Home Journal, plus edited publications for Princeton University and was a playwright and novelist on top of those. The artist was Ralph Fuller, who at the age of 45 had a deep portfolio of work in cartooning for Puck, Judge, Collier's, Harper's, Liberty, Ballyhoo, College Humor, and The New Yorker. The 1930s wasn't a good time for humor magazines, though, so Fuller was looking for steadier work and approached AP about comic strip work. He was offered his choice of projects, but settled on Oaky Doaks after reading some sample scripts and saw its potential. The Oaky Doaks strip was reprinted from its beginning in Famous Funnies, starting in issue 25. In it, we are introduced to Oaky as a simple shepherd, but an ambitious one who wants to join the king's troopers someday. He hears his opportunity when a crier comes door to door announcing that King Cedric will pay 200 gold bricks to whoever will defeat the Black Knight in a joust. Following the Black Knight's trail, Oaky runs into a rival knight who hangs Oaky from a tree because Sir Morgan is determined that he is the one who will defeat the Black Knight. The battle between Sir Morgan's forces and the Black Knight's forces is a total rout, but afterwards the victorious Black Knight just happens to ride under Oaky's tree, and Oaky falls right on top of the Black Knight, unhorsing him and knocking him unconscious. Oaky, not recognizing the Black Knight, thinks he's going to get into trouble for almost killing a knight. He throws the man over Nelly's back and takes him to the nearest castle for care. This turns out to be King Cedric's castle. Cedric recognizes the Black Knight at once and rewards Oaky with a banquet. The website Tunipedia says Oaky was never knighted, which may be technically true, but at the banquet Cedric makes Oaky both Captain of the Guard and Duke of Dunderpate by royal decree. Oaky's fortunes turn when he calls Cedric's daughter Mercedes Toots in front of Cedric, and Oaky winds up in jail, at least until the besieging army of Sir Bulwarky arrives and seeks to resolve the siege by jousting Cedric's bravest knight. Oaky gets volunteered. He is offered the best armor and warhorse and turns him down for his homemade armor and Nelly. He is bested in every practice joust, but still set out to confront Sir Bulwarky. In the joust, Oaky is bested again, but when Nelly gets hit by Bulwarky's lance, Nelly picks up Oaky's lance in her mouth and knocks Bulwarky out with it. Since it's Oaky's horse, Oaky is declared the winner by technicality, and Bulwarky's forces, as per their deal with Cedric, surrender. Sir Morgan returns, not for the last time either. He's the recurring villain, and jealous of Oaky's success, decides to get him out of the way by framing him for stealing the king's jewels. This succeeds at temporarily getting Oaky thrown into jail again, but King Cedric himself proves Oaky's innocence by dusting the crown for fingerprints. Fearing that the jig is up and the crown will implicate him now, Sir Morgan kidnaps Princess Mercedes and flees. Oaky is sent in pursuit and sneaks up on the castle where Mercedes is being held. For the first time, Oaky is shown to be a capable fighter, as long as he gets surprise on his opponents, and he bests 3 guards one at a time so he can slip in and free Mercedes from her cell. He even captures Sir Morgan by lassoing him as he rides past. But Oaky rides away to escape when Mercedes offers to reward him with a kiss. Finally, The rapid fire adventurers take a break, and we get to see Oaky and Mercedes interact with each other more. It seems like they are both smitten with each other, but neither one seems to know what to do in a relationship, and their interactions are either awkward or just childlike. Like children playing at a relationship, they almost immediately jump through courtship to discussing marriage, with Mercedes giving an ultimatum seemingly out of nowhere that she won't marry Oaky unless he gives up his horse, Nellie. This conflict isn't introduced organically and comes across as rather forced. Had McCreary and Fuller spent at least another week on this budding romance, maybe Mercedes could have observed Oaky's affection for Nellie and reacted with jealousy, or Mercedes could have revealed to her handmaidens that she felt like she needed to test Oaky's devotion to her. Anyways, Nellie runs away and Oaky leaves Mercedes to find his missing horse. For reasons that are just as unclear as Mercedes' motivations, King Cedric decides to abandon his duties and go with Oaky. And this was all from just the first 100 days of the strip continuity. A map of Oaky Doaks' world would be pretty difficult to draw. King Cedric's kingdom is called Maple Island. It's a big island divided into duchies, though only the Duchy of Dunderpate is the one I know by name. At some point, Oaky will encounter Camelot in the future, but I haven't read that far, so I don't know how he gets there. The cultural and technological anachronisms are all over the place, ranging from the 5th century, the most likely time that King Arthur lived, to the 17th century when tin roofing was first introduced in Europe, to the 20th century and modern inventions that keep cropping up in the strip whenever it turns out to be funny, like when the press have cameras. There is initially no magic in the world, and magic users are just charlatans, so later in the strip this will change and Oaky will encounter magic. Or maybe there was magic all along, but it was just really rare. That Oaky Doaks does not take itself at all seriously is a given, but from everything I've said so far, you might think that it was just a whimsical strip, but Oaky Doaks was capable of chuckle-worthy, if not laugh-out-loud, funniness, and that was thanks to McCreary's keen ear for dialogue. Much of the humor is meant to come from the absurd anachronism of modern language. Here are some examples. There's no future in sheep. Don't forget to have your oil changed. We don't want any. And that one is worthy of Hagar the Horrible. And of course, where's the Navy? The Navy is rowing against Cornell today. But what really made Oaky Doaks work for me was when King Cedric becomes a regular sidekick slash comedic foil for Oaky Doaks. Cedric gets all the best lines, mocking the situations they find themselves in like Groucho Marx would. Here are some examples, and imagine these in Groucho's voice. I'll give you a $50,000 reward if you'll do it. I couldn't accept any money. You mean that? I'll make it $500,000. He's too big. Get me another one. Still too big. I want a thoroughbred, only smaller. I want my horsey. Now watch my smoke. And so you want a job, eh? Well, yes, he wants a job. Will you work hard? Well, sure. Who are you? I'm his friend. You were my friend. Oaky Doaks will only be recognizable like this for the first 5 years. After that, my favorite character, King Cedric, disappears from the strip and Oaky travels alone. Maple Island is surrounded by other small islands he can explore. This odyssey goes on for 10 long years before Oaky settles down in a new kingdom. At this point, the strip kind of resets. He's now in Uncertania. A different king there rules there, King Corny, who has a different daughter slash romantic interest for Oaky, Princess Pomona. Except this time, Oaky and Pomona even fall in love and get married. It'll be a very different strip than what I'm used to reading, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll ever get that far into it. But for these first 5 years, it's a fun read. In 1961, AP will get out of the comic strip business and cancels the last of its strips, including Oaky Doaks. So that's as long as it ever went. This never was printed in newspapers in my lifetime, so I never encountered this at all until I started reading these older comic books. And I'm so glad that I did, because I've discovered so many fun comic strips like this one that I never would have seen otherwise. So thanks a lot, comic books, and all the people that took the time to scan and donate their copies of these valuable Golden Age comic books and put them up online for people at Digital Comic Museum, Comic Book Plus, and other sites like that. So thanks to all those people, and feel free to donate to all of them when you get a chance. That's it for today's episode. So I hope that you enjoyed this introduction to Oaky Doaks. We're going to get back to talking about more comic books next time, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.